What's up, guys? It's been a little bit, been a little minute. I've missed you. I will get into it. I know I told a bunch of you that I will explain what happened. I've been gone for a couple weeks. I will address that. But I do need to say one thing about this is free will is a hell of a thing. And, excuse me. If you feel something's happening unjust or this isn't fair, and it's fair, it just may not be fair for that moment. We spin this wheel of karma, whether it be good or bad. That's the key to life, really, is to try to get that wheel to stay pretty still or only rotate good. You will reap what you sow, one way or the other. That's just the way it is. Doesn't matter. So when you think you're getting treated unfairly, I feel like I'm off center today, guys. Excuse me. So if I am and it drives you nuts, let me know and I'll adjust it. I'm not like a huge director or anything, clearly. But if you think you're getting it, you're not. You're reaping what you've sown at some point, somehow. Sometimes even, I'm not going to get too spiritual and crazy because I don't want to lose anybody. It's important what I'm telling you. All right, I get back here a couple weeks later, and I'm encouraged by the fact that the person who helped me in this case, this woman, had no reason to or obligation to me to do that. I've clearly not been the greatest person to her. Now, I'm not perfect, and I never said I would, I never said I will be, and I'm not, I'm very imperfect. But I've always maintained a line of integrity, some moral line that didn't exist in this physical realm, but was there. No matter what I did, I wouldn't cross this, but I got damn close many times. But I would always have this conscience that would bother me deeply. Thank God for it. And I'm here, and I'm not saying I'm by the Spirit of God or anything, because I don't believe God is what we have been taught. I believe it's a little bit different, a lot different. We're all connected, literally. We're all from the same source. And I do believe that source uses some of the oddest people and most obscure people to do his will. Am I blessed with the Spirit? I don't know what it is I feel. I haven't talked to him, none of that. But I do know I'm able to see without a veil now that many years ago, I started researching or just exposing myself to this, not realizing I was researching, finding it impossible to believe, but entertaining and curious. As almost 20 years later, I'm shocked at how much of it's come to fruition, and it's actual. The terminology, the technology, it's the words and the terms were set in place long before we're covering all this. So that's it. But I see this woman who is so wonderful of a human being, is veiled a lot. And I am to the point where the mainstream has covered it enough. The words are the same. I am detached from reality, and I'm in a cult, violence, danger, horrible people. But yet here she is helping this cult member, right? With love. And she says, on one condition, you keep your mouth shut about Q and all of the stuff. It's dangerous, it's a cult, and I need you to be clear. You need to be clear. I was hoping you'd be clear. And it's really ironic, isn't it? Those of us that know what's happening. And it got to the point where I wouldn't stop a little bit, as I was before I went away. And she starts to cry and getting frustrated, like the peace was here. And I know that she didn't have peace. You see, these demonic forces, and I say this not in a religious context. So please, whenever I speak about God or Satan or spiritual or all that demons, this is literal shit. I'm not talking about gods and religions and things that they've made us believe. That's not what I'm talking about. Not at all. I'm talking about real forces that are evil and real forces that are good. And I promise you that the evil forces are much more active, or have been for millennia. But now I'm knowing, and I think a lot of us are feeling that good operate. So I pray, and we need to pray that the world's veil lifts. Collectively, we're powerful. All right. So I'm going to get into a couple of things here, like that I'm seeing, like, you know, they're coming after Q. It's a cult. It's dangerous. It's a terrorist organization. You know, first, I've said this before, but let me tell you what Q is by definition. Now, it's transcribed. It's put down differently. I'm going to make the fourth one, though, the third one, the fourth one, because I think this is the most important thing that I feel that's my job to get across. Number one, it's a multi-year process of disclosure of secret illegal government activity. There had to be a back channel because this is not going to be covered. Unfortunately, the mainstream media is not just complicit, they are heavily or bigly involved. It's a prophylactic against civil war that they're trying to generate. I can't have vigilante activity. That's what this is about. It's an information weapon against the institutionalized crime and corruption of the media. Because the media is how they're able to perpetrate all the wars, all the lies, all the rhetoric, and the absolute bullshit that's happening. I don't know, we need to come up with a better word for what they've done. It's unbelievably horrible. But the fourth and final, and to me the most important in my mission, it's a training program in discernment in critical thinking. This is retraining or rewiring Americans and the world, but for this newscast, it's going to be the American side. Americans how to critically think. We used to have critical thinking classes. When I was in school a long time ago, things were encouraged to be discerned and dissected. And now that's just not the case. So let's move on. So Q, this horrible cult. Let's talk about this terrible cult. 4462 tells us, post, only when good people collectively come together will positive change occur. So as I recite some of this, I want you to really think about what I'm saying. And if you disagree or you find the evil or the violence in anything I say, I encourage you to please put it in the comments, because it's important that we talk. Remember, we used to talk about things and we could debate things. You can't even say words anymore. That's beyond human. They don't have the ability to think because they're veiled, programmed, if you will. I know it sounds crazy, but it's real. Division is man-made. Division is designed to keep you powerless. Division is designed to keep you fighting each other. Division is designed to keep you enslaved. The narrative has you. No one person is above another. Unity is strength. Unity is humanity. Unity is love. Trust yourself. Think for yourself. Only when good people collectively come together will positive change occur. Think for yourself. This is big. Now that is basically the mantra. Does this sound like you tell me, I don't know, you tell me. Does this sound like any mantra that a vicious cult would adopt? Think for yourself. Don't take a word we say as gospel. This is just a training exercise in critical thinking. Find this information. It's researchable. Sometimes you got to dig. It doesn't sound evil to me, but in the comments, please let me know. People, stop watching the news, or, well, I went online to get the news onto Yahoo. Stop waiting to hear when you see something, research it. There's cameras everywhere. People are covering this. We're awake. You can find it. You can watch these things happen and discern it for yourself. Do not take my word on a single thing, please. Why are the history books painting different pictures than they used to? Why are teachers following a new false script completely? Why are all Republicans racist? No matter. Learn the term projection. Why are they threatened? The mainstream media has you brainwashed. They want you controlled. They want you enslaved. They want you divided. They want you dependent. What have the Democrats in history really done for the black population? Please, I implore you, research this. What have the Republicans? And while I put this separate parties, I assure you, this is not about Republican and Democrat. There is no two-party system. This is good versus evil, and they are both on both sides. Please know this. But through history, what have the Republicans done for the black population? There was a time where there were two parties and they did both love America, but they had some different views. Things are different now. You're talking about an infiltration of the communists and beyond. What has the president, love him or hate him, done in 1 year? So you don't get that covered. But you can research it through executive orders and through different stipulations. Immediately he started pulling back rights, getting rid of the black crime bill. Immediately, but you don't hear any of this, and this is upsetting and it's ironic. What are the net worth of the black leaders today? Why does Nancy Pelosi mention MLK 74% of the time in her weekly addresses? 74%, these are actual numbers. Do you know that MLK was a conservative and would absolutely detest what's happening today? Did you know that? Learn the truth. Reread these culty Q drops. Go back to the timeline of October 23rd, 2017. If you give me an honest look at these and you look at the future-proof past, you can't come up with another outcome. You just can't. Why do we look at skin color? What does that mean? What's the point of it? Division, separation. It's time to unite and fight for our freedom together. Their biggest fear is us collectively coming together. We're much more powerful than they are, and we're much more many. Patriots have no skin color. Does this sound like an evil cult to you? I'm just asking. All right, guys, that's pretty much what I got. There is a couple of things I want to touch on. I told you in the beginning, or I didn't because I had to record it. So I got some big stuff coming. First of all, there's a coup d'etat that's being planned publicly. Okay. I want you to look up an article in the American Mind called The Coming Coup and read that. Check out the Transition Integrity Project report. And that's by Michael Anton. It's so obvious what's happening. They're writing about it. And not just that, these Washington Post, and they're covering this like it's something good. Like this is good. Every outcome this election can be, except is horrible, the volcanoes, except one, they're saying, if Joe Biden wins. Isn't that irony? If that's not irony. So I leave you with this, my friends, my patriot friends, if I can find it while I'm stalling here. Well, I think I know it. The TLS. This is a term you're going to know. I have a bit of a lisp, so I apologize for that. TLS. The light system. It's been around for about 5,000 years. Now, I'm game over, right? I know. There's about 7,000 members worldwide, agents, and they are the good guys. Now, I don't know, this is conjecture as far as what I'm about to say. I believe it's part of the alliance, or the alliance is part of them, or whatever it is, but there is an absolute alliance. Many are human, some are not human, but this isn't channeled information. These are people you can touch, hug, smell, feel. They're there. All right, guys, listen. It's so good to be back. It's so good to be free. It's wonderful to be an American. Take your oath. I haven't even taken it yet, but I'm going to make it right when I do. I want candles and shit. I want this to be right. This is important to me. This is the most important thing in my life. This is almost superseding my life, which is probably crazy to a lot of people, but I cannot watch dishonor take place all around me and watch the most good human I know in this woman. She's a much better person than me. Get filled with disgust, detest, hatred, anger over what she doesn't even realize she's mad about, because I don't even believe it's her thoughts. Guys, we are the wolves at their door. I am Wolf. I am out. I am happy to be back. I love you, Patriots. Please leave some comments. And I know it's a rough start back, but here I am. And unprofessional like I do this.